So, I've been thinking a lot lately about my photography and what it means to me as well as its place in my life. And I want to share these thoughts with you. In my journey in photography, I think I've identified three main stages, right? You start off as an illusionist, become a scientist, and then ultimately become a creator. As an illusionist, anyone who has a phone or a camera can pick it up and take a picture of something. And when you take this picture and you share it with other people, you're not sharing the actual thing itself, right? The person, the event, the thing in question. You're not sharing the actual subject. You're sharing an impression of it, an impression of the subject, an impression that you like. And in a way that this thing is an illusion because it's not the real thing, it's virtual, right? Whether you have it in print or literally on social media, it's virtual, it's an illusion. And when someone else looks at this thing, obviously they see the thing itself, the photograph itself, but they have no sense of the feel, they have no sense of the mood of the place, of the experience, of the person. And so they fill in the gaps. Now that part is easy enough to understand, I think. But the more you understand this thing, for some of us, you become more curious about it. And I think that's when you transition from being an illusionist, just creating a random illusion, to being more of a scientist, where you start learning how to manipulate light and how to manipulate this image when you shoot it as well as in post. And that is exciting because now you start to move away from the actual subject itself. You move away from that. I mean, the subject is still there, but you move away from the subject and more into the feeling. The gaps that initially someone else had filled in. You move more into the emotion behind the image. And that, in my opinion, is when you become a creator. You're bringing in the unspoken. You're bringing in something more than the spectacle. It's not about the spectacle at that point. The spectacle just adds to express that undercurrent of emotion, of pain, of joy, of fear, of anxiety, of content, of peace. And all the other things that we experience that we don't even have words for. So yeah, to kind of conclude that thought, photography for me has become a means of me to create, a means for me to step into that void and bring something, anything out of it. Having said all that though, I started to reconsider how I approach my photography. I feel like it's not right, or it's not valid for me, it's not my path to give it out in exchange for money. Not anymore. So yeah, so now I will still do photo shoots with people. Any kind of photo shoot really. But in exchange only for art or a conversation. Now if you put value in your creations or your lived experience, you'll know that that's not cheap. But it very well might be worth it. Thanks for listening.